What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with the review for Sistas Season 6, Episode 3. The episode is titled Face the Fire, you guys. So, before we go to get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and aren't subscribed yet, then do me a solid favor and stop checking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss Sistas on BET, shall we? Alright, you guys, so this episode we picked up where we left off with Pam at Andy's office and crying, talking about Karen is deceased, right? So Fatima, this whole entire episode, Fatima was just clocking the reactions from Zach, and I was like, ooh, Mr. Postman, that's your ass, right? So Zach was the first person who jetted out of that office, right? And so then Andy and Fatima and Pam were following in suit, right? And at one point, Andy was like, she needed Fatima to speed up, right? And Fatima was like, Andy, I'm driving. And Pam was like, Zach is going faster than us. She's like, I see that. So they get down so we get to the salon, right? And we see Aaron. So Aaron is still upset, going off about the firemen and everything, right? And in the car, we got Andy talking about, she's talking to Pam, who's still hysterical. Pam is telling Andy that, Aaron told her that this is all her fault, right? So she was like, what are you talking about, Pam? I left the curlers on. So Andy was like, wait a minute, you left the curlers on Pam? So Andy was like, we got to call Miss Lisa. And, Pam was like, I tried that. That's when she was telling her, that's when she told her that Aaron said it was her fault, right? And that they should wait to know that Karen is either deceased or with the living, right? So then Andy was like, okay, well, I need to call the girls up, right? So they call Danny and they tell Danny to get down to the salon. So Danny's like, what's going on? And they were like, Danny, just get to the salon right now, right? So they had a long back and forth with that situation. So then we move over to the hospital and we see Q. So Q is still in the hospital, and I don't know why. I would assume it's just a just a graze of the body, whatever, right? So old boy that he's working with, whose name I forgot, by the way. So if you guys remember that cop's name, Logan. So Logan came in, and Logan was talking about, he talked to the nurse. The nurse said that this is just a surface wound, basically, right? So I need for you to get your ass up and get back to work. And then here's the thing. They're talking about the recording. I don't know why I did air quote, but they're talking about the recording that Maurice did, right? And I still think to myself, like, that recording is inadmissible in court, because you can clearly listen to Maurice on that recording and tell that he was being absolutely facetious. So I don't know if that holds up in the court of law, but maybe it will. In Tyler Perry's world, maybe it will. So yeah, Logan wants for him to get back up to work, so that way he can do his part to put Sabrina and Maurice behind bars, right? He got a promotion from this. I was like, you got a promotion from that? I could see it if this was like, if Maurice and Sabrina were, criminals that have high ranking, on the FBI's most wanted list, but they don't. They don't even have records. And that's the other thing. A good lawyer could defend, a good lawyer could say, my clients have no previous arrest. So what would lead them to robbing the bank? They have no priors. But that's it. Let's pause here and move forward. So the next thing we see is Sabrina and Bio. I already knew that I didn't like Bio, but this really solidified that I didn't like Bio. Like I have been saying to you guys, with Bio comes off very creepy to me, right? So to get back to Sabrina's crib, Sabrina's talking about how good lunch was and how she's in a much better place, right? So then she wants to discuss the situation with Maurice with Bio, right? And Bio was like, oh no, let's not talk about that, right? So Maurice came in, and Maurice saw Bio, and y'all know how Maurice is, over the top and flamboyant, right? So Maurice starts thanking Bio, and in this particular moment, I was like, Sabrina and Maurice, y'all don't see what I see. And in that moment, I was like, I'm like, he's got to be from an African country because you guys know in African countries it's illegal to be gay. So I was like, he's probably from some country in Africa, and I'm pretty positive he's homophobic. And lo and behold, the man is homophobic. And then for Sabrina to sit there and play obtuse, I'm like, man. When Maurice came in, you could clearly tell that he was disgusted by the sight of Maurice, and he even said something about Maurice being disgusting, and he was talking about Maurice, and Maurice was like, oh, I don't want her. He was like, I like penis, and he's like, you're disgusting. I was like, excuse you, sir. I'm gonna keep, like, really? That's how you feel? But okay, I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But you're a homophobic person, and like I said, for Sabrina to not see that, girl, is the light on? Because it just doesn't seem like it is, right? So then Bio had the unmitigated gall and audacity to tell Sabrina to tell Maurice to leave her apartment. I would have been like, wait a minute, you want me to tell my friend to leave? No, you can leave. I don't give a damn that you did bail him out. Like, you can end up leaving, not him. He ain't said nothing rude to you. He ain't said nothing disrespectful to you. So you're the one that's being rude and disrespectful. So see ya. Wouldn't want to be you, right? But nope, Sabrina went along with it, right? So Maurice had to, after Bio left, he told Sabrina he had been calling her. She's like, oh, I left my phone. So she picked up her phone, and Danny had called her as well. So she called Danny back, and that's when Danny told her that she needed to get down to the salon. So Maurice and Sabrina, they left, so they're on their way down to the salon. So we're going to pause here and move forward. Now, over to the salon. So I got ahead of myself earlier when I was talking about Aaron getting on my nerves, and he was still going off about the fireman and everything. Well, this is the scene where he was doing that. He was talking to Gary, right? So Zach showed up, and at one point, him and Aaron got into it because Aaron was like, oh, now you care. Sir, shut up. You're new here, right? So Andy got there, and Andy had to tell them, like, stop, Zach, stop, Aaron. So the medical examiner finally showed up. So the medical examiner was going in to go check out this body and see who it is, right? So at this point, the medical examiner's in there examining the body. Everybody's outside, and then the medical examiner came back out. And so the medical examiner told them that the woman that is in the shop is unfortunately dead. So rest in peace to her, right? So when that happened, the loudest person screaming was Andy. I was like, my God, girl, the dramatics. Because, I mean, she was just, I was like, girl, KJ, I get it, that Karen is her best friend, but girl, you put 20 on 10, right? So while everybody is breaking down and crying about Karen, thinking that Karen is the one that is inside the shop, Karen walks up and like, what is going on here? Like, why are y'all all crying? And everybody looks like, Karen? Yes, Karen is not dead, you guys. I knew Karen wasn't. Like, I knew for a fact Karen was still alive. Now, when I tell you what threw me was when Zach ran up to Karen and he embraced the hell out of Karen, and I saw Fatima's face. I was like, ooh, girl, what you gonna do about, how you gonna, like, what we gonna do about that? Because yo man just, I get it. So here's the thing with Zach. Zach running up to Karen is not really a big red flag, because one, he and Karen have 3 years of history together. They were in a relationship for 3 years. Then on top of that, Karen is allegedly pregnant with his child. So Zach was worried about her and this baby. So I know how it looks to Fatima, and I'm not mad at Fatima if she's upset or whatnot. Like, I'm not upset about that, right? So the girls at one point told Zach, move. So they were hugging on Karen, right? So they asked Karen, like, what the hell happened, right? So Karen's like, I came here last night to look at the salon, and I saw smoke coming from the roof. So she went in, and she passed out, and the next thing she knows, she wakes up at the hospital. So they were like, how did you get out of the salon? And she was like, him. So this guy named Lewis came over. I guess he works in the same shopping complex, right? So he's the one that scooped Karen up and got Karen out of the salon. I was like, that salon was immersed in flames by the time. Okay, Tyler, because I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that salon was immersed in flames. But he fought. So he is, what's the Smokey the Bear? Okay, I guess it is what it is. I don't really care, right? So congratulations, Karen is still alive, right? Karen is still among the living. So everybody's telling Karen like there's somebody dead in your salon. She's like, wait, somebody's dead in my salon? And they were like, yeah. So the guy Lewis is like, he said he think it might be one of the homeless people because they're trying to stay warm and heat up whatever they're heating up, right? Because that's where the fire started. The fire started at the back of the salon and not up there where the curlers were. That's what I was thinking. Like I had said that in last week's review. Like, how did this fire start if it's the curlers, right? Because yes, curlers can catch on fire, but they have to be near something. They have to be on top of something, right? Like a piece of cloth. And I don't think that, they can have to be on a piece, something that'll, catch fire and it'll spread, or an electrical wiring. But hey, it wasn't Pam. So Pam was relieved about that. Now, mind you, when we found out Karen was alive, Pam, that hysterical crying that Pam was doing went away. So we're gonna pause here, you guys, and move forward and I guess wrap up this episode. So we see Pam. So actually, Andy, Sabrina, Karen, and Danny, they all left together, right? I also forgot to mention to you guys that everybody on this cast showed up to Karen's salon. Preston was there. Maurice was there. Calvin was there. Gary, Aaron, and Zach. The whole entire, like I said, the entire cast was at Karen's salon, right? And I was just like, that's very interesting. So I'm assuming Danny called Preston on the way there, and I'm assuming that, I guess, Sabrina called Calvin. I'm assuming. I don't know. But yeah, everyone was there, right? So the girls left. Fatima had been gone. So it was just Pam and the boys, and she was trying to get a ride from any one of them, right? So I guess somebody took her home. So she's at home, her phone rings, and it's Aaron calling her. And Aaron is like, Pam, I just want to apologize to you. I said that you were at fault for it, but, they said that the fire started at the back. Aaron, shut up and go to hell, right? Like, that's all I really want to say about Aaron. The other thing I want to say is this scene right here with Pam and with Aaron drug on too damn long, you guys. It was the longest thing I ever saw. It was like a long scene. They were just having a lot of repetitive dialogue, and I'm like, are we gonna stop at any point? Like, cut this scene. So then the next scene we got is Fatima. So Fatima's at the bar, and she's at the bar with Angela, right? So she's telling Angela the situation that happened with, Karen, how the salon caught on fire, and Angela's like, you didn't set the salon on fire, did you? She's like, no. She's like, well, I gotta ask the question, right? So then she was telling her how Zach was when it came down to Karen. And, Angela said, well, what did Zach do now? And she's like, that's it. See, every time I say something, it's what did Zach do now? But Fatima, that's your problem. If you want to be in a relationship with Zach, and you got to take the good with the bad. Like, it's not always going to be good, and it's not always going to be bad. Now, Heather, that situation happened with Zach, was with Karen. So that has nothing to do with you as well. The situation with Karen and Zach, you two weren't together. So technically, Zach hasn't done anything to Fatima. You have just been, since you guys have been in a relationship, that's when the shit has, come rolling down the hill. But Zach hasn't done anything to you. The only thing that Zach did, and you guys were not in a relationship at the time, is when he had sex with Karen when she was in her broom closet, right? That was it. So Angela, at one point, Angela was, like, girl, what? What did you do? What did he do, right? She was doing that. But then she's like, well, I was like, I'm like, come on, somebody at least play devil's, not even play devil's advocate. Let's just think logically, right? Zach and Karen were in a 3-year relationship. So obviously he has some kind of love and some kind of concern for this girl. Like, if he were at that office and Pam came in there, well, he was at the office. Let's just say, let's just go this route. Think about it this way. How would you feel if you're at the office at your job and your ex-man's assistant comes into the office and tells your boss, his ex's best friend, that she's dead, and he'd be like, oh, fuck that bitch, right? And don't give a damn. He'd be like, Zach, really? Like, so you don't feel nothing that Karen could be potentially dead, and that she might be carrying your child? Like, you don't feel a damn thing? Like, come on now, let's just be real. They had a 3-year relationship. She is saying that she's pregnant with his child. What kind of reaction did you expect for Zach to have? If he had the reaction of he didn't give a fuck, that's a problem. That means he's not gonna be there for that child, and that means he never gave a damn about Karen. So I just didn't like that. And then Angela was like, but that's kind of similar to how you were when you saw Ian. She's like, but I wasn't in love with Ian. Ma'am, it's apples and oranges. Because you didn't want to tell Zach about meeting up with Ian. I remember that from Zatima. But that's really all I got. Let me know what you guys thought about that in the comment section below, you guys. So the last scene, we see the girls and they're over at Andy's crib, right? So, they just hugging all on Karen and loving on Karen. And then Danny mentioned Zach, right? Zach, the way he ran up to Karen, and Andy wanted to change the subject at one point. Danny was like, nope, let's talk about it. And it's like, no, let's change the subject. And then you guys know how Tyler is when it comes to them. We went back and forth about, let's change the subject. Let's not change the subject. Let's change the subject. Let's not change the subject, right? So then Andy was like, okay, well, how about we do this? How about we discuss why Preston was there and why was, Calvin there? And Sabrina was like, good one. She's like, thank you. So Danny told them how, that girl is there, and he dropped off at the hotel and came to check on Danny. And a good thing he did, but she didn't go into detail about why it's a good thing that he did, right? So then Karen wants to let us know that when she went to the hospital, her doctor told her who the father of the baby was. I was like, wait a minute, girl, how that happen? Did she do a DNA test? Because without a DNA test, how is she 100% positive that whoever you saying the father is the father? But that's the episode, you guys. It was alright. It wasn't the best episode. I mean, I will say everybody was overacting when it came to thinking Karen was dead. The only person I found believable was Danny and maybe Sabrina. But Andy and Pam the most. Zach, I can believe that reaction, right? I can believe that reaction, but everybody else's reaction was just way too much for me, and I still don't understand how all the cast ended up at Karen's salon. Speaking of Karen's salon, real quick, let me double back to Karen's salon, right? Why were they in front of a green screen? Has Karen's salon always been in front of a? I wonder, has Karen's salon always been in front of a green screen? Because I thought they filmed in Tyler Perry Studios, but that's neither here nor there, right? But Karen's salon. So I forgot to mention this. That's why I said I'm going back to Karen's salon. But I forgot to mention this. When we were at Karen's salon, and I think it was the medical examiner, or it was the fireman. I don't remember. But one of them, no, it was the medical examiner who told her, they're going to still be doing an investigation, and for her to call her insurance company. And come to find out, Karen ain't got no insurance. I was like, ooh, girl, you got a business. Like, are you in the red? Like, are you in a negative? Are you making money, or are you losing money? Because you ain't got no insurance. Like, that's why you've been going so hard on Pam. And come to find out, Pam ain't at fault for not a damn thing, you guys. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn your post notifications on and share the video, you guys. Until the next time, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one, you guys. So I gotta watch Real Housewives of Orange County, and I also have Hot Topics and College Hill and Bell Collective. That's all tomorrow. But Hot Topics is definitely tomorrow, and I guess OC will be up later tonight or early. It'll probably be up early in the morning, right along with Hot Topics. But I'll catch you guys for the end of the next one. Also, you guys, be sure to go check out the live review that I did of Married at First Sight Reunion Part 1. I'll see you guys later.